Hi everybody, it's Chris here from the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. Just to let you know, as always, this podcast is now part of the 90-Minute Football Network and proudly sponsored by www.pt-4-u.co.uk. Enjoy the episode.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel, and we are back. Deck, I think this is our third post-match batter of the season. We haven't been keeping up to date with these ones, mate, but I think once again, it's another one where we're not too happy. It could have been a lot worse, could have been a lot better, but let's dive straight back to that starting lineup, because I know both myself and you were not happy when we saw that team lineup, mate. There were three changes. Almiron came back in, Murphy came back in, and Shelby was back in the centre of midfield there, mate. At what point now does it take for Graham Jones? I know Graham Jones will be gone after this game. I know, well, I'm saying gone, he's not going to be manager, and Eddie Howe is going to be coming in. Mankiw, how is he getting dropped?
Well, I knew that was going to happen, you know. I don't know if you can hear that, but I knew that was going to happen.
Oh, no.
Is it really loud on your end as well?
It's really loud, mate.
It's loud, isn't it? So that was the reaction when Mankiw was dropped, right? So, sorry about that. It's going to go off again. You know?
Oh, no.
There's not much I can do. Like,
no. I'll tell you what, right? Wait, what do I do?
Yeah, there's not
what
much
do
I
I
can
do? Right.
there's not much I can do. Like,
I'll tell you what, right? We'll be back in a few minutes.
yeah, give some time.
I stopped.
It'll go off again, probably, though.
Right, we'll just crack on. We'll crack. Oh, no. Right, we'll be back in a minute.
We'll be back in a minute. Well, that was the worst. That was the worst. So,
Deck, are you still on?
I'm still on. Oh, well, hello, everyone.
Turn your mic off. Hi everybody, we're back. We don't know how long for, but we're back.
Yeah.
I just
There's a
want to
fire
apologise.
engineer now.
I don't even know where we go from this, mate. I apologise for all the newcomers that have only just tuned in for the first time. It's
Yeah.
not normally like this. But yeah, Digger, start lineup. I was talking about Mankio there, mate.
Yep.
This selection, this starting lineup, sum that up in 2 words.
Absolutely dreadful. It's the best I've got for you. Well, Mankio was probably the only player you could say from the Chelsea game that came out of it with any type of credit. Probably he played well. To be fair, the rest of it were absolutely hopeless. To be honest, unless maybe he's had some kind of knock and that's why he's been left out. But having said that, if he's got a knock, then why is he on the bench? So you would think that it's been a tactical change or a personnel change that he's wanted to do. It's the 3 at the back again. That's just frustrating us. I don't want to see 5 at the back, really, but the 3 that he's playing, we're seeing Kraft again playing right of the 3. You're seeing the Cells again play. I appreciate he's captain. And then you've got Clark. For all, Clark did very well for the goal, which we'll come to. But it's just not good enough as far as I'm concerned. You've got Fernandez, you've got Shea. We're goalkeeper. Even Dubravka can't even get back in, which stuns us as well. So I was very disappointed, to be honest, when I seen the lineup.
Were you expecting to see Dubravka?
I was, yes. I really was.
I was as well, mate. Going off last season, obviously what happened last season when Dubravka was fit again, it just took one error from Dolo and Dubravka was back in. I think last week Dolo didn't have a great performance. So I really was expecting to see Dubravka back in there today. Another one you just mentioned his name there, Federico Fernandez. There was a few people there saying maybe he's got an injury, but if you look over the last week or so, the quotes that we've seen from Graham Jones, he hasn't got an injury. It's a strange one. I think that Graham Jones said that you would rather have a forward-thinking player on the bench. How many players can you have on the bench now? 8.
Well,
so
we've got seven players, but I'm not even interested in bench. To be perfectly honest, he should be starting.
True.
If it's unbelievable, and I've said this time and time again that we've played I know it's 11 games, but it was 10 games at the time. We had conceded 20 goals. We're conceding two goals a game on average, and you're consistently playing with the same back 4, back 5. That doesn't add up to me. If you're not keeping clean sheets, then clearly the people that you're putting on the field aren't good enough.
And we mentioned. I think you mentioned on the podcast on Monday night, mate, that Graham Jones has had a handful of games, 3 games now, to put his stamp on this team and trying something different. We haven't saw a single thing which has been different, mate. The football has just continued as it was, if not got worse. To be honest with you, it's something, and we needed big changes. We really did need big changes over the last couple of games, and we haven't saw any. We really haven't. And today we were unbelievably lucky to come away with a point from that, because that first half performance was absolutely shocking. It was up there with one of the worst. And God knows how many times we've said that, mate. But I was looking at that in the first 20 minutes. You knew what was going to happen. We're so far back when we're nearly in the channel at one point. It was just appalling to watch, mate. And it was a type of football where, as a Newcastle fan, you've became used to it now. You really have, because this is what gets served up every single match day. And Graham Jones's chance has gone by now. Absolutely gone by. And I'm at the point now where I'm thinking, should he stay at the club, or should it just be a clean slate throughout where he goes as well, and Eddie Howe brings in his own full team?
It's been a monumental swing in regards to people's opinion on Jones. I think a lot of people thought that he was maybe the more the better coach of the people that were there.
Is that because so many people were behind, against Bruce and Bruce's backroom staff?
Yes, I would say so. I think it was very much a good versus evil type of thing in regards to everyone was just against Bruce, and he was the only sort of shining light or someone we could kind of ping the hopes on. But I think, if I'm being honest, I'm not expecting him to come in and change it completely, because he hasn't got that much time. But what does shock us, though, it's with the mentality of how the setup is. Like, that almost tells me that he agreed with what Bruce was trying to do. He was a foil for that. He was accepting that. I think that's a perfect way to play. We're basically just turning up and waiting to get beat every single game. And I got really annoyed on Monday night about the Chelsea performance in regards to, I appreciate it's Chelsea, but we were anti-football. We didn't even want to play football in that game. And in a lot of that first half tonight was exactly the same. And it's I'm just sick of it, mate. I'm just sick of seeing it.
Yeah.
And it was. I think that's when we decided we were going to do this. It was more out of anger from the first half because we were so pissed off of what we had watched.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I said just before clicking the I button and 5 minutes Sam turned up. I was expecting Sam Allardyce to burst the door in, to come in and like save with it. I think we were at the point where, and like I said, our WhatsApp group was on fire this afternoon, that first half, because everyone was so frustrated. I just want to focus on a couple of the key points on this one. Is so the penalty. The penalty has had a lot of debate just in our group alone, as well as Twitter. What's your thoughts on the penalty?
If that was Callum Wilson getting fouled, I would say it's a penalty. I have to be honest, right? But I do feel as if Clark has definitely dove in stupidly in that area. He's been stupid.
Clumsy.
However,
Ridiculously clumsy.
It was clumsy. It was. However, the player seems to ride the challenge, if you like. He's going to take a step with that leg and then realizes, oh shit, actually, I'll just go down. So, in with the rule change of is it clear and obvious, it took them so long on VAR.
2.5 minutes.
Yeah. So that tells me that it's not clear and obvious. And in live time, the referee waved play on and said it wasn't a penalty. So I feel as if you should go with that decision.
I think with you saying the referee said that we'll go later in the game in a few minutes, but the referee also waved on the Callum Wilson foul as well. Yeah, so I think we'll have to take the referee's opinion straight out of that, to be honest with you.
Fair comment, yeah.
But I think my opinion on this, and like I said, the WhatsApp group, we were split right down the middle. And me and Mark. So if Mark's agreeing with me, I'm probably wrong, to be fair. But the fact that the player, he takes a step after the challenge, then realizes, so he plants his left foot, then he realizes as he's about to plant his right foot, hang on, he's just made contact with me. Then he flings his leg back again. And for me, I'm thinking, that's not clear enough. If you have to make that decision in your head that I could go down here and get a penalty, it's not a penalty for me. It's really not. And it's soft. If I'm on the receiving end of that, so like you said, if that's Callum Wilson going down, I'm probably looking at it and thinking, oh, 100% take a penalty. Of course, like you can understand if a penalty is given, but in the same breath, I'm not pissed off if we don't get a penalty on the back of that.
Yeah. But as I say, I did say there before, just similar to what you mentioned there, that the contact is there very, very minimal. The player rides that challenge and carries on, and then realizes, shit, actually, I've been hit and goes down, type of thing. And it was a soft one. And as much as Brighton deserved to be ahead at halftime, it was shit to be going in halftime with that decision, if that makes sense. I know we played dreadful, but in all fairness, we could have went in 0-0. Not that we deserved it, of course.
Yeah, and like I said, defensively, mate. Well, not even just defensively. I'm talking about the full team here. Callum Wilson was sat in front of the back four majority of that first half. Saint, I don't even know how to describe Saint today. I'm not sure what your thoughts on them. There's times where you can tell Saint's trying, and today I didn't feel as if it was one of those games for him. I thought he was very off the pace today.
I don't think he stands a chance in that current setup. I thought a lot of the times without the ball, he was actually behind Matt Ritchie, because I was shouting the ball on the telly watching it with me, and I was going, what the hell? So many times Saint was behind Ritchie, and I think they were really scared of Lamptey this time around and really wanted to double up on him. My concern is with this formation, and you've probably noticed that the last few weeks, that teams have found him out. I think when he gets the ball, there is 3 and 4 around him within seconds every time he gets the ball. And I think that's affecting his confidence as well, because when he's getting the ball, he's surrounded, he's losing the ball. We need more from him, there's no doubt about it, but I think we need to be playing a more forward-thinking style of football to get the best out of him. To touch on another player who I was really disappointed with, out of all the changes that were made, by the way, seeing Miggy come back in, I was thrilled with, and I thought he was absolutely shocking today. I thought he lost the ball every single time he got it.
There was a couple of glimpses with Miggy where he was doing his usual thing, where he drops his shoulder and the defender goes the other way. It's normally on the touchline where he does that. Then it just seems like he doesn't know what to do after that. So he turns, he's thinking, shit. Then it always goes back. And, mate, I don't mind when we start passing the ball back if there's no options up front. What does annoy is when we start passing it back to the defenders and to the goalkeeper, then they just lump it up the field. And we saw it once again today, but we did see a tiny glimpses, not many, but we did see we're trying to pass the ball around the back. But us trying to pass that ball, we can't do it. The defenders that are there, those 3 centre-backs that were playing today, they can't do that.
I agree. When you say the first 20 minutes of the game, I actually thought the first 5 or 10, we passed it really well at the back. And we created a great chance for Murphy, who kind of like shot. But it wasn't even wide, really. It was a really bad shot. But the build-up play for that move was fantastic. But as you rightfully say, with the likes of Kieran Clark and Lascelles, your heart's in your mouth a little bit, isn't it, when we are playing that way? And I think when Howe comes in, I do think that's how Eddie Howe will want to play. But if you're going to want to play that way, your likes of your Fabian Shares and people have to come back into the team because we're just not comfortable enough on the ball. And the problem we have is, I'd love to, I don't do it, but how many times do we kick the ball long, which happens all the time, but how many times do we actually keep a hold of it after we've kicked it long? It's probably, you're on one hand, it comes straight back. And Wilson was cutting a very frustrated figure because Dunk was it was meat and drink for Dunk all night long.
It's a few games in a row now where you've saw that sort of character come out of Callum Wilson, where you can physically, you can tell he is unhappy playing that role where he's not getting anything. He's feeding off scraps at best, and you can tell the frustration there. And he's creating fouls and he's trying to defend himself as best as he can. But the fouls at the end of the day, because it's just pure frustration, like you've said there, mate. And he's not the only one. But that first half, going in there, I thought, we've got nothing coming out this second half. I thought, there's no way we can change this result. No chance in hell. I was even more shocked to see that there wasn't any changes coming out in the second half. It was the same team that came out, and was baffled as hearing the starting lineup at 4:30 this afternoon. We're watching this football game, and it was exactly the same on a Bruce. You can see that changes need to be made. And there's nothing. Luckily for us, Brighton came out like nothing like the team that we saw in the first half. Brighton were pretty proud in that second half. They really were. I don't think we were changed much. We looked slightly more as if we were wanting to get further up the field. But I think that was down to Brighton being absolutely shocking that second half. They couldn't pass a ball together.
Yeah. I thought I was stunned that there was no change of shape in the second half, because I thought surely Jones will get them in at half time and realise this is not working. And then when we came out the second half and it was exactly the same, I couldn't quite believe it, to be honest with you. Now I'm wondering if Brighton thought, we just got to go through the motions here and we'll win this game. I'm not saying Potter sent them out that way, but I mean the players thought, listen, these aren't doing anything here. We did push up a little bit higher. And I'm saying that as if that was an amazing thing. I mean, Christ, it's professional football here, but we
set up how we should set up.
We did push up a bit higher. I was actually pleased with Kieran Clark more so the second half, because he was willing to break out of that back three and come forward, bring the ball forward, or even start more forward, press early. And in fairness, we probably deserved the goal. But we only had one shot, right? And we only had one shot at goal, and it was the goal, which I think we'll probably come on to. Kieran Clark does magnificent for that goal. As much as I've been very critical of him recently, he does very, very well at the back post. There's two of them on him, and Clark manages to rise above both of them to get it back into play. And I actually thought Hayden overall, I thought that was one of Hayden's better games. I know he got a goal, that's fair enough, but I actually thought Hayden did well today. He was trying his best to come deep and collect the ball and try and start to move off, try and do something with it. I thought Hayden played well today, but I thought the goal was a good goal. I thought he took it really well.
It was a great finish as well. Got his knee over the ball as well, and
he did.
I think he puts that anywhere else, and they've got a great chance of stopping that hitting the back of the net, and he puts it between the defender and the goalkeeper, and great finish. And it was. I thought after that, the game was pretty end to end. After that, Brighton had a few chances, we had a few chances, nothing great. One of the things I did want to mention was Joe Linton. Joe Linton came on. What's your opinions on him? Because I thought when he came on today, he looked all right.
I thought he played really well, actually. There's only one thing I thought he did poor, which was late on. He was like, it's when Dunk was in goal and he was running down the wing and he almost just fell over.
He just tried to go too far, didn't
he? Away from that, I thought he was pressing the right areas. He didn't hardly lose the ball. And the through ball he did for Callum Wilson, which then led to the red card, was absolutely brilliant. The way he brought that down, and then with his weaker foot played it, in front of Wilson, that was a wonderful pass. And ironically, when you think of how bad we were in that game, we probably could have won that game there, because that's an open goal, right? You know what I mean?
So it's 1-1. then obviously that through ball comes in from Joe, and Wilson's ready to. Well, in fact, he does get around the keeper.
He's
then
away.
he's away, and then the keeper obviously clips his heel. Strange decision by the keeper. I don't.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mentioned on Twitter and comedy that it's a professional foul. I don't think it is. I don't. I think the keeper is just daft. I honestly don't think it goes through his head. I'll clip him and like they're not going to score. I don't.
Okay.
I don't see that, to be honest with you. It's not like Solskjaer and Rob Lee, that sort of challenge. I just don't think the keeper has enough time to do that. And what annoys me is, yes, the goalkeeper got a red card, but there's 5 minutes left. And that's taking a goal away from us. Yes, if I'd have been in the box, then you get that chance to score the goal. But we were winning that game. We didn't deserve to, but we were winning that game if the keeper doesn't touch Wilson.
Yeah, you would think so. And for all you might say, we did play poorly. The second half, I thought Brighton were poor as well, and we did frustrate them. They ran out of ideas. And you're right, though, it's one of them, isn't it, where I know the lad gets sent off, but there's such little time left in the game. Now, I do have to mention here, directly after that red card, obviously, we'll get the free kick.
John Joe Shelby stands over the free kick. And in your head, where do you think that free kick's going?
Right down his throat.
6
right
yard
down the keeper's throat. Yeah, just get it in and around him, like at him. Just put it at him with a bit of pace, with a bit of zip. You know what I mean? Test him, and we'll float it right on the edge of the box. We'll float it to the the old Pardew to Mike Williamson trick. The same shit.
They're trying to get it to the back to head it back in. That's what they're trying.
Unbelievable decision that. Like the kid's just put the gloves on. Do you know what I mean? He's not a goalkeeper. He's just put the gloves on. Let's test him out. That was shambolic. That was absolutely shambolic. But yeah, I mean it was. We only had 5 minutes to go, but the game got incredibly sloppy in that last 5 minutes. We didn't know how to keep hold of the ball. Brighton didn't know if they should try and win the game. It was disgraceful. The last 5 minutes, it was shocking from both sides. We just could not keep hold of the ball at all.
It was horrendous. And when I know it's easier said than done, but when an outfield player has to put the goalkeeping gloves and shirt on, you think pepper that goal, absolutely pepper spray it with shots. And Graham Jones probably thought the same, hence why Dwight Gale came on as well.
It was a good shot,
he came in when we got the throw, and I think Kraft went off because Kraft was about to take the throw in, the long throw. Then Gale came on. Then once again from that throw, nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, well, Saint got it and actually just blasted out the play. He tried to cross it.
Ridiculous.
He hit it as hard as he possibly could in the flow for a goal kick. We then got a corner in the dying second. I mean, I'm talking dying
last
seconds.
Last kick of the game.
Yep. And what happens? We don't beat the first. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, what I was going to ask you, though, is, pre-game, I know Norwich won, obviously, which was really bad for would you have took a point pre-game? Like if I'd have said,
yeah, of course you would, mate. Of course you would. Yeah. The Norwich result wasn't great for us, but Norwich being in obviously getting a win in the bottom three, it doesn't really do anything to us. It doesn't matter if we're 17th, 18th, 19th or 20th. We're still in the relegation zone, so it doesn't really matter what those teams do. We've got to focus on ourselves now and keep on picking those points up. Last 3 games, you're picking 2 points up.
I mean, we've only lost 1 out of the last 3. We still haven't won, of course, which is the problem. And I think for me, it's the performances that have been worrying, because we haven't seen, for all the work that Graham Jones says he's been doing with the team, and we've been in 5 days a week and blah 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 blah. I don't really see any changes at all. And let's get something clear. I mean, Eddie Howe has one hell of a job, ahead of him, but I still think he would have sat there the night and thought there is players on there, if we play in the right way, can hurt teams. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of work to be done. I was just okay. Good night. I was so disappointed with the first half.
There's Undertaker turn up behind you, mate. Dong.
Right, I'm back. But the first half was just dreadful. That was my biggest gripe, was the first half. When you think of what the plus, you've got your new manager in the stands, right? Then would have knew he was there. And I'm thinking, Eddie Howe's there the night. The lads are going to give it maybe that extra 5-10% early doors. And then you see what that first half performance is like. And I was like, Jesus, he's probably tapping Mandy going, how much have I got in January? Like, because this is bad. Like, do you know what I mean?
He's probably tapping on his shoulder saying, what's that survival bonus again?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's just, it was just the game, honestly. If the Premier League is the best football league in the world, don't show anybody that game. I'm telling you that now, because
don't ever show us. Don't ever show us, because we are anti-football in many respects. I cannot believe, and I honestly mean this, I cannot believe that we are bottom of the league, right? We're rock bottom. We are shocking, right? And we have been for a long time, right? But we consistently try and play the same way. But my answer is to that is, but this way of football has got you bottom of the league. So how do you think just rolling out the following week, playing the same old shit, sitting there waiting to get beat is going to work? Yeah. And it's the second in a game, it happened today, that every time we'll begin to try and press a team, we'll try to get a little bit further forward. It works. We're not scoring a goal, or we'll look a bit more dangerous. I just find it unbelievable that we revert to this business of just sitting there waiting to get beat.
Yeah, so Digger, if you're Eddie Howe sitting in that stand today and looking at those players on the field, what's the first thing you change going into the next game against Arsenal, is it? Oh, no, I'm
it's Arsenal away.
Is it Arsenal?
Arsenal away, yeah. Isn't it? Yeah. Oh, is that not? Sorry, apologise. It came on the screen.
Norwich. Is it not Norwich midweek?
No, I think, just give us 2 seconds. I do apologise. I seen something came on the screen. And I think, we've got Brentford at home, because that's that'll be the manager's first game. The thing that shocked us there was BT said the next game on their channel was Arsenal.
So right. So we've got an international break coming up, haven't we?
And then Brentford at home.
Then we've got Brentford at home on the 20th.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now, what do you change for that?
I would love to see we not have 5 at the back. I'd love to see we go to the 4, and then obviously be more mindful of midfield. For me, it would be bringing back in Fernandes or Shea. You're saying one thing, aren't you? But I've got a couple. Sorry, I apologise. But I would say Shea or Fernandes coming in for one of the centre-halves, or even if change both of them maybe, and see Dubravka come back in for Darlow. Not that Darlow did anything wrong today, I must say, but I would just feel a little bit more safer having Dubravka back in goal. That would be my immediate changes. Someone else who John Joe Shelby shouldn't be playing either, as much as I've been advocate of his for a while. Jesus Christ.
So Shelby, he got that yellow card. He goes straight at the referee, and he's pointing at the referee, going, "Because it's me. It's because it's me." No, Shelby, it's because it was a bad tackle, mate.
I mean, there was at times in the game, I will be fair here, there was at times in the game we were letting them pass it around where they were walking around where, and I wanted someone just to rattle someone. Just let them know that we're there. I'm not saying you should always do that, but I was more annoyed with Shelby, there was sometimes on the edge of our own box where he was just walking. I mean, literally walking. And their players were looking quite dangerous. Shelby was just not even arsed, hands by his side. Didn't really seem to care. But I think personally it would be trying to go to the back 4, looking to try and press a hell of a lot more than what we do, and bringing in Fernandes or Shea and bringing Dubravka back in.
Yeah, you need to look at that back 3 for me. You need somebody like we've mentioned so many times over the last handful of weeks. You need Fabian Shea. You need Fernandes back in there, and we'll speak about it a lot more on Monday night when we come together with the rest of the lads for the All Smile Faces podcast, because I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about once again. Hopefully Eddie Howe will probably get announced tonight or tomorrow at some point. Yeah. You can expect that coming soon. He's got a week and a half now to work with the team before the next game, before Brentford at home, and it needs that work. It really does need that work, especially defensively.
It does. What I will say to try and end positively is, it was great to see him there today, and that was great. It was excellent to see him coming up with Amanda. He's there. Obviously, it's going to happen, and it's really nice to go into the international break without a defeat. I mean, I know it wasn't great to watch. I know it wasn't a great performance, but we haven't lost, and I think it's a good little footing to now start on with the new era under Howe, and we just keep everything crossed. And then when it comes to the home game, us as fans, we give it everything we've got, and really, really, really get that place rocking when Brentford come here.
Yeah. Well, mate, I'll see you on Monday night. And like I said, it'll be all over there. So if you have enjoyed the video tonight, please like and subscribe to the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. Plenty more things coming your way. Like I've just said, the Always Smiling Faces podcast will be back on Monday night. We've got an interview coming up with Shade, so our resident Newcastle United fan in California. We're going to be doing an interview with him about the day that he met Alan Shearer. And plenty more Extra Time. If you missed Extra Time yesterday, it's an absolute fantastic episode. So go and watch that. They spoke to a Bournemouth fan who spoke all about Eddie Howe and his time at Bournemouth. We might be having a special guest come on within the next 2 weeks. I won't say any more than that. Okay.
Well, even I don't know who it is. So
You don't know who it is. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you on Monday night.